Righteous Consultant 333, like and subscribe. Send this video far and wide. Hope all is well with you guys. Hope all is well. Hope all is well. Back at it, dropping gems like I never stop. To keep on dropping these gems. Hope people realize, they'll wake up and understand that they have a choice. They have a chance, opportunity, to have, financial security, utilizing credit and the information that I'm giving you guys. It works. I know for a fact it works. If you utilize it correctly, it works, and it's no ifs and buts about it. It has something called the FCRA. It's what's the Fair Credit Reporting Act. These are laws that the government created, that these companies have to abide by, and a lot of times these companies, they always break the law, no matter if you own them or not. And you can utilize this for your benefit by disputing. That's why I always tell you guys about disputing, because everything is a dispute, you know. Like I always utilize this. I always use this analogy about, people, that work, W-2 workers. If your paycheck is late and, you work 40 hours this week and they're only paying you for 30, you're missing 10 hours and you got bills you got to pay and they playing games, you're going to have to put a dispute in. You have to file some type of claim so you can seek some type of remedy, because if you don't say anything, closed mouth don't get fed usually. That's how it is, even though they know they're wrong. But learning how to dispute can make these people do stuff that you need to do in a, faster pace, because they understand and they'll see that you know the law. Just by utilizing AI and, there's a few little steps that I'm teaching people, and what I do for myself and clients. I mean, when you dispute, right? You dispute through these so-called credit bureaus, TransUnion, Equifax, Experian, right? Then even when you use the FCRA laws, they know they're supposed to go by. They'll still, verify like they don't care, because they don't. A lot of times it's just, computer, because if you got 300 million people in America, they say, according to, statistics in the government, not me, I don't care, but they say it's 300 million people here or so, right? They say over 50% have bad credit. So if 50% of 300 million have bad credit, hundreds of millions, over 150 million. 150 million, right? That's a lot of people that have bad credit by design. So utilizing this FCRA and you disputing these credit bureaus, the company itself probably have like 20,000 employees when I'm getting that. So they just gonna put verify, even though you probably asked for a live human to go over your credit report and look at the dispute letter that you sent. They not doing that all the time because they don't have the manpower to. So it's some underhand stuff going on what I'm getting at. But when you utilize these strategies and you know this information, you can get what you want. And having good credit is everything, because you could use the bank money to buy a business or start a business just by having good credit, by leveraging your credit, And if you don't have to have bad credit, even though you owe stuff, but you using, consumer law to get the things off your credit, then you could pay to put stuff on your credit. Why are you in a financial situation that you're in? Most people don't know this information, though. I'm not telling nothing that, this is not illegal. This is straight legal stuff that you need to know. There's no loophole or anything. You just need to know this stuff. The thing is, by making yourself look good on paper, having good credit, so you go borrow money from the bank and buy a business, start a business, so you don't have to work for the rest of your life. Now, if you don't want to do that, you don't want to take a risk, because risk is everything, then, you don't have to work for the rest of your life. If you're not putting nothing down, you ain't able to pick nothing up. There's nothing wrong with working. Some people don't care about none of this stuff. They just rather have a simple life, work, make enough money, take care of their bills, and enjoy their life. And that's cool. But at the same time, I know that that's not a smart thing to do, because anything can happen. When you live in paycheck to paycheck, it could take one situation that can push you out on the curb. So, even if you want to live paycheck to paycheck, it's still good to know this information, because you need to know how to defend yourself. You need to learn how to defend yourself because they speak a different language when it comes to law. And they say that ignorance of the law is no excuse, meaning that they don't care if you don't know the law. They saying you should know it. And I'm not. This is not legal advice. I'm not a lawyer because I'm not trying to let these motherfuckers sue me because I'm giving you all really the loophole and the information, the key. But you know, this is for like what they say. He who have eyes, let him see. Everybody can't see. Everybody can't hear. You know, some people are spiritually blocked. They're not. It is what it is. And this information. I mean, think about it. If I'm telling you the truth, right? I'm telling you that you can really get anything off your credit report, no matter if it's yours or not, using consumer law, and you can pay to make yourself look good on paper. Then you can go to the bank and borrow money to buy a business, start a business. That is true. You know how powerful this is, the information I'm telling you then? If that's true, this is some powerful information. Not because I say it powerful. I mean, is it? It just it is. If you live in life and you in America, you know it is. You need credit for almost everything. And when your credit's bad, you have to pay for things twice. Paying for things twice mean like, say for instance, you got to drop a down payment compared to some people that have excellent credit. You don't have to pay no down payment down. A down payment in itself is illegal. You could rescind that contract. They making you pay for something that you already got approved for. But we do sit this be monkey see, monkey do. We think it's normal. All that stuff is against the law, and you can sue. You can have bad credit on your credit report and sue and get that shit off and get a check for it legally. You're not even showing your face. This is sauce. This is nuts. You need to tap in. This is real shit. If you want to change your situation, we see it all the time. They say use this law. You can, it's not just a law. You have to sue them. Most businesses that you do business with, they have arbitration agreements, and you take them to arbitration because it costs them a whole lot of money to go to arbitration to fight you. You can lose as long as you bring up a dispute that's real, which it is real because they violate a lot of times they violate the law. You could bring a dispute and it'll cost them thousands of dollars. It probably costs them almost 20 grand to fight you. And if that you lose, you don't pay anything. So you could use that for your advantage if you know what to do. They're not gonna want to fight no big case just to win for nothing. When they could just say, all right, take this little money, we take this off and beat it. So what? There's multiple other companies you could do business with. Utilize this information I'm telling you. That's nuts if you're not listening to this. That's like NPC status. And you don't have to get it from me. It's other people saying it too, but I haven't found them. I haven't found them like me. I didn't spend my money to learn this information. And when I did, I didn't even know none of this part until I had to go through it myself. And I utilized it myself once I seen what happened. When I took the company all the way through, I took them all the way through. They won, even though I won because I use AI. It's not like I use it for a math test. We talking about I use it, to speak their language so that I can get my point across. And like, it did everything correctly. I literally won, but the law is rigged. But when you can utilize it for your benefit in a different type of manner, you can win. That shit is fake, but you can win though because they're not gonna want to fight you to spend $20,000 if you sue them for something small. That's the game. Tap in, Righteous Consultant 333. I'm out. You can't get that, then I don't know.